I live in a big city. It's not perfect, but one thing I actually love about my neighborhood is that most dog owners here are responsible. They clean up after their pets, they're respectful. We even share poop bags and dog treats through a little community box I set up after my own dog passed away. But then there's always that one person. And for me, that person became known as Pooper Lady. Every weekday morning, like clockwork, she'd walk her tiny mop of a dog right to my yard. And every single time, the dog would squat, leave its business, and she'd just walk away. No bag. No attempt to clean it up. Not even an ounce of shame. I tried everything. I posted on our neighborhood network. I put up signs asking people to pick up after their dogs. My neighbor even yelled at her once. "Hey, pick up your dog's mess." And do you know what Pooper Lady said? She looked my neighbor dead in the eye and replied, "I don't have time. I have to walk my dog before work." And then she smirked and added, "What are you going to do about it?" That line stuck with me. See, I wasn't just some cranky neighbor with a patch of grass to protect. I had history here. I used to have a dog myself, a massive, lovable, 250-pound gentle giant. He was the kind of dog who made kids laugh, who loved everyone he met, and who ate like a teenage boy going through a growth spurt. When he passed away 2 years earlier, I was heartbroken, but I poured my energy into fixing up the yard he had loved. I replanted with microclover and other plants that could handle dog urine. I even set up a little doggy treat library and free poop bag station for local pet parents, because I knew what it was like to run out. So when this woman, who had access to free bags in front of my house, chose to let her dog defile the very space I'd built in memory of mine, it wasn't just rude, it felt personal. Pooper Lady wasn't your everyday dog owner. She was always glued to her phone, earbuds in, scrolling while her dog terrorized other pets. I'd met her before, back when my gentle giant was still alive. Her little fluffball had tried to attack him, a dog 20 times its size. She barely noticed until I yelled, "Curb your dog, lady!" So no, this wasn't ignorance. This was entitlement. And that made her the perfect villain. I checked my security camera footage. Every weekday, she passed by between 8:02 and 8:03. Not 8:05, not 7:50. Always the same time, like a twisted routine. And suddenly, I knew exactly how to answer her smug little question. What are you gonna do about it?
I set up 2 high-powered sprinklers in the area where her dog liked to go. These weren't your average sprinklers. They were hooked up to my Wi-Fi, meaning I could activate them from my phone at any moment. I scheduled them to blast at exactly 8:03 a.m. with full water pressure, 15 gallons per minute. If Pooper Lady wanted to keep ignoring me, then she was going to get the wettest wake-up call of her life. The next morning, I pulled up the live feed from my security camera at work, and right on time, there she was. Business casual outfit, expensive shoes, headphones in, face buried in her phone. Her little dust mop of a dog squatted in its usual spot, and then, whoosh, the sprinklers exploded to life. The dog got hit first, right in the face. The second jet caught her square at the waist. Within seconds, her perfectly groomed dog looked like a drowned rat, and her outfit was soaked through. She screamed. She tried to scoop up the dog, slipping on the very pile it had just dropped. And when she finally staggered upright, her clothes were caked with mud, manure, and green stains from my freshly fertilized grass. Watching from my office chair, I laughed so hard my boss had to ask me what was wrong. I thought maybe, just maybe, that would be enough. Lesson learned, end of story. But no, the very next day she came back, this time in full suit and heels as if daring me. I watched her glance nervously at the sprinklers, check her watch, then let her dog squat again. I waited, and then, with one tap on my phone, bam! The sprinklers roared to life. She screamed louder than before, so loud I heard it through my camera's awful microphone from 30 feet away behind triple-pane windows. That's how furious she was. Her dog panicked mid-poop, spraying aerial torpedoes as she tried to grab him. One of them arced gracefully through the air and landed right on her blouse. I couldn't have choreographed it better. On the third day, I decided to push it further. She walked up again, tugging her reluctant dog along. The dog clearly remembered what had happened and wanted nothing to do with my yard. But she pulled and pulled until they were just about to cross the property line. That's when I triggered the sprinklers early. 3 seconds of lag, just enough for her to step fully into the spray zone. The dog bolted, leash slipping from her hands. She went running after him in her heels, nearly tripping as she disappeared out of frame. The next morning, she was gone. And the morning after that, still gone. Instead, I spotted her dog being walked by a young woman in a t-shirt from a local dog walking service. A professional. Someone who actually smiled, picked up after the dog, and even stopped by to grab a free treat from the little library I'd built to my old boy's memory. It was a beautiful sight. And a few months later, Pooper Lady disappeared completely. She moved out. Maybe she found a neighborhood where sprinklers don't exist. Maybe she just couldn't handle the humiliation. Either way, my yard has stayed clean ever since. There's something deeply satisfying about seeing arrogance backfire in real time. Watching Pooper Lady get soaked, stained, and humiliated wasn't just funny, it was justice. She thought no one could stop her, that she could disrespect me, my yard, and my community without consequence. But in the end, it wasn't me yelling or arguing that stopped her. It was cold, hard water. And a little creativity. Sometimes revenge doesn't have to be cruel to be effective. Sometimes it just has to be poetic. She left behind a mess every morning, and in the end, it was her who slipped in it. Call it karma, call it justice. Either way, it felt good. If this story made you laugh or gave you chills, smash that like button and subscribe for more tales of sweet, sweet revenge. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying moment of karma you've ever witnessed? I'd love to hear your stories.